I've got it. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Painting with Your Ultra. We've got the new Hardwood Steenbeck Ultra. This is a really cool brush, guys, and it is classed as sort of like a beginner airbrush to get you into airbrushing. But coming from an advanced airbrusher's point of view, I just think it's a really cool brush to just get in and paint. And we're doing something really detailed today as well. We've got like a sliced up portrait, as you can see on the screen here. It's a woman's face, sort of looking through cardboard cutout pieces. So we're going to be painting this today with a 0.45 needle and nozzle setup, guys. This thing gets seriously down when you need it to. So how we're going to do this today, because you've got settings on the Ultra on the sleeve here, you've got some like quick adjust settings. So you can go from open trigger. So if you're a seasoned artist, you can run this brush on full open trigger and you can get the full movement of your trigger. But if you're a beginner and you're sort of nervy into like how much paint you're putting down, you've got some really handy settings on here that you can just dial in: base, primer, and you've got 1, 2 and 3, and this will give you a set amount of paint. So what I'm going to do in this portrait today, I'm going to use the sleeve settings from full trigger all the way around on the sleeve settings, and I'm going to put photos to the side of the screen, and it will let you know where I am on the portrait and what setting I am in on the brush. The air pressure that we're running today, I've got 25 psi in the main line coming out of the brush, and then if I need to dial this in on a real intricate piece where I'm going really close up, I've got the Mac valve here, so I can just turn the Mac valve, and as you can hear there, it just dials that air into what I want. But I will put that up in the screen on what pressure I'm running at. It'll either come up in text or I'll do a voiceover as we go through this portrait. So I'm going to give you as much info to get this portrait down that we're doing today with this brush. Paints we're using, I've got an FW ink, so I'm going to use that black to go around the black parts on the portrait. And then I've got some Createx Illustration Payne's Grey mixed with a bit of orange to take the blue tone out of it and just bring it more to like a natural grey, because this is like a grayscale type portrait. Erasers, I've got an electric eraser just to pop some little highlights in that are around the eye, a little bit on the nose and on the lips. Cleaning products can't get simpler with this brush, guys. Grab yourself a cleaning pot. Now I don't usually like using these because I usually work with the crown cap off, but the beauty of this brush, you can work with the crown cap on permanently. You don't take it off because it is one full piece. So you can just plonk these straight into your cleaning pot and you're not going to damage your needle. And when it comes to cleaning this, if you get tip dry, which is very rare with this brush as I've used it in the last few videos and not suffered with tip dry, but if you do get a little bit of tip dry and you see your paint just spitting slightly, on the front of the brush where your crown cap usually is, you can see there's some little cutaways around the brush. They go all the way around the front head assembly of the brush. Now to clean this needle, if you need to clean it, if you're getting a little bit of tip dry or you see it sort of spitting, dead simple, get yourself an artist brush, cheap artist brush, get a little pot of water with your airbrush cleaner in, and you just soak the front of the artist brush, and on the holes here, these are designed to be fluted towards the needle. So when you look at the front of this, you'll see little flutes going all the way around. You just get your artist brush and poke in the holes, and then holes will guide your artist brush towards the needle, and it basically sort of just pushes against the needle and cleans all the front of the needle. So it's dead easy, you've not got to take this off. So that's what we're using for cleaning, just a bit of water, the cleaning pot to blast through. I've got a couple of shields. These are Melee ones, so they're solvent proof, but you can use cut pieces of cardboard, just do some random shapes just to help you along when you're holding up against your piece of artwork and you want to get a really sharp line. That's what we're going to be using. So I'll stick you in the time lapse, enjoy the video, and I will speak to you at the end. Let's get on with it. Let's get painting with your Ultra. Right guys, we've got the portrait down, well the segments of the portrait down. You've seen in that time lapse, you've seen the little brush part of the brush pop up and you've seen the sleeve settings, and that's what I was working to. And hopefully you could see some of the distances as I was coming back using the actual settings on the brush. Now the best way to use these settings on this brush when you're a beginner, get your paint mix right. Starters, get your paint mix right and set your air pressure 25 psi. Make sure your paint's coming through, and put a scrap piece of paper to the side of you. Keep that to the side of you, and before you go in and commit, check your setting that you're on, go to the side, practice on that piece there so you can see how much paint's coming out, and then you can judge your distance. You know how much you've got to put down on your image, so just go across to your test piece at the side, set it to the setting, and then check your distance with the brush and just find your distance on your scrap piece of paper, and then go into your portrait, and then you know, right, I've got to be 2 inches away or 3 inches away, and then you can hit that line or that bit of shading you're after absolutely bang on. So you just keep reverting back to your scrap piece of paper. That's why you'll always see me here. I'm either just going across quickly like blasting it out, or I'm setting it to a setting like base. I know how much comes out at base at 25 psi, 2 inches away, and that's how I was getting these pieces here with the darks. I started off nice and light, backed off, and I was just shading in and let the brush do the work. Set it to the setting, back off, get your distance. It's all about getting your distance with these settings. bringing your brush closer if you want to get tight details. It sits really nice on setting number 3 with your paint mix right for details going in, so you're about inch, half inch off the panel. You can just go in on setting 3 and you can rock the trigger back to that stop. So it's hit the stop, bring it back, hit the stop, bring it back. I'm just doing that with the trigger and working it, and that's how I got sort of the eyelashes in and things like that. So it's really nice to paint with, great brush, slows me down, gets me using this, and it just dials you in on your shading as well. When you use it for your shading, like on base, or even if you go full trigger and you like working with full trigger, it's nice to start setting back your distances and just shading in, because it atomizes really well, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed the video on painting with your Ultra. It's another sort of detailed piece, sort of, not really photorealistic, because this is actually cartridge paper. So to get the eraser to try and take out some of the paint on this, I was really sort of digging in, and to get the real bright highlights I was literally scratching into the paper and furring up the paper slightly to get the real sharp ones. But working with this on something like a synthetic paper or something like that, you'll have no dramas knocking back your Createx illustration. It's just because this is cartridge paper, the paint's just sucking straight in. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.